Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is take 6 minutes. I will take care of the timer, so don't worry. You just do your thing. Take 6 minutes, and I want you to make a list of people that you would love to do this journey with. I want you to think about women that you would have in your own challenge group that you're running. Women that would make your challenge group a lot of fun, women who would encourage you, women who would inspire you, and women who would want to do this journey with you. It could be men too, to be honest. It's up to you. But you should have a list of, let's make a goal, 50 people. I made this list 3 years ago when I started, and I almost, after 3 years, have every single person checked. So, my advice to you is to make this on like your notes on your phone or something so you don't lose it. Okay. So, start your list now. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you. That was more like 5 minutes. If you didn't finish your list, or if you know there are more people, once we get finished with all of this, you just continue that list. The next thing I'm gonna have you do might make you feel like you wanna poop your pants, and that's okay. But I want you to pick two, just two of those people that you wrote down, and you're actually going to contact them. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, maybe not even that. By contact them, I mean you're going to send them a text or a message like on Instagram or Facebook or obviously on your phone. And I want you to tell them what you're doing and ask if they would be interested in doing it with you. So don't freak out. This should be as simple as if you were to text one of your best friends, because I'm assuming they're really close friends and family members. It's the same as if you would be like, hey, um, do you want to go to a coffee shop with me and hang out on August 10th? It's that simple, okay? So you need to think about what program are you doing next? When are you going to start it? And if they don't know you're a coach, you need to tell them that you're a coach too. So they know kind of what this is all about. If a voice message is easier, go with a voice message. Okay. So you could say something like, hey, I'm starting 21 Day Fix, for example, on August 10th. And I really would love to have you do it with me. Do you know what that is? Like, um, do you have interest in completing a 3-week fitness program with me or something like that? Make it sound like you, don't make it sound like me, but do what you're doing next. Or if you just started one, say you just started 21 Day Fix, text your best friend or your sister or your mom and say, hey, I just started 21 Day Fix, and I could really use some more accountability, and I would really love to do this with you and have you in my group so we can do it together. Whatever words you want to use, I don't care. If you want to drop your ideas below in the chat and get feedback, that's fine. But I'm going to give you 5 minutes to invite 2 people. Go. Okay, your time is up for that one. If you didn't get them out, make sure you do that like after this or later. Okay, the next thing I want you to think about is what your page is going to include that's more than health and fitness, because you're going to hear us talk about over and over and over and over again that people have to like you and trust you and know you before they ever sign up with you to do a workout with you. Right now, and probably even your first 6 months, you're going to sign up a lot of people you know. But social media allows you to have a really, really big reach. Like people from all over are going to find you. At this point in my business, I'm 3 years in. Like I told you, I've pretty much exhausted that 50-person list that I created 3 years ago. And most of the people I sign up, I don't know and have never met. They found me on Instagram. So you need to start thinking about what are you going to post about that has nothing to do with health and fitness, that will just get people to click follow, that will just get people to be interested in you and like you and know you and trust you and want to follow along, because your life is so much more than this health and fitness journey. And you have a lot to say that has nothing to do with health and fitness. And people want to know those things too. So we call these your 5 pillars. And these are the things that you are going to post about on a consistent basis. And they're always changing, always. So for me, for example, I post a lot about pregnancy right now, and mom life, because that's what I'm stepping into. That's going to be one of my pillars for a really long time, because I've been in my pregnancy journey, and for the next, I don't know, 6-8 months to a year, it'll be like new mom life, postpartum, all of that. Something else I post a lot about is my faith. I just talk about reading my Bible. I talk about my faith in the Lord. I talk about being a believer. I talk about like hosting small groups at my house. So that's a second pillar of mine. A third one is probably mental health and counseling, because that's something that this journey has really provided for me. So you're going to see me talking about my counseling journey and talking about mental health a lot, because it's really super important to me. And as far as my fourth and fifth one, I don't have anything nailed down to tell you right now. Probably one of them is just being weird and silly, because that's just me. And then maybe the fifth one would be like lifestyle. I share a lot about like fashion, and home design and stuff like that. But you just need to think about those things that you can post about that are just relatable, that are just you, that are not health and fitness. So take some time, write them down. That way, whenever you feel like, oh, I have nothing to post about, you can go back to that list and you can be like, okay, I at least have these 5 topics that I like to talk about. Maybe you're a teacher or a nurse. Your occupation outside of this should probably be one of your pillars. If you are a mom or you're a newlywed, like your life phase should also probably be part of your pillars. And then anything else. Actually, to be honest, Starbucks is probably one of my pillars, like Starbucks and pizza. I talk about that all the time. So think about those things that will come natural to you that you'll want to talk about and write those down. I'll give you like 3 minutes to kind of brainstorm that.
Hey, so while we're brainstorming, I have a question that I get constantly, and I'm not really sure quite how to answer it. So a lot of people are like, what's holding me up is the cost, which to me, yes, it is part of it. I guess I just don't know how to make that, minimize that, or make it sound like it's really not that much.
Yeah. Let's chat about that at the end, because we will run out of time. I'm on my free account, but we can also hop back on. So we will address that before we get off though, okay?
Sounds
time's up for that one. I want to remind you that your 5 pillars and those things you post about can always be changing. And you absolutely do not just have to post within those pillars. Sometimes the most engaging posts I ever make are just like super random, off the cuff things. But it is like so important that you add more to your page than just health and fitness, because health and fitness is not your entire life. It's just a part of your life, and it enhances those other things that you're going to talk about. Okay, next thing is your coming out post. If you have not done this, it's super important that you post on social media to let people know, like, hey, I'm a coach. Otherwise, they're going to be like, what in the world are you doing? And they might even think that you're just sharing for fun, and they may have no idea that they have an opportunity to join you. So, if you've not done this yet, this is your task for today. You're going to make a post on Instagram and Facebook, if you have both, and say that you are a coach. I'm going to share mine with you just so you can get an idea. This is something I posted 3 years ago. You're going to notice probably the way I post and how I write has changed over the years, but that's going to happen for you too, and it's totally okay. I want you to know that this journey and being a coach is not about perfection. You're going to learn so much along the way, and so many things will change, and you'll grow, but you've got to start somewhere. So I'm going to share mine with you just to give you an idea of what I mean by a coming out post. Okay, so my first post ever, I posted this on my personal page to get people to come over and like my Instagram page because I made a new one. I also posted it on Facebook. So here's my picture, super simple, just me on the beach. At that time, I did not have very many pictures of myself, so that's what I posted. And then here are my words. Staying healthy throughout high school and college was never a problem because I was an athlete and always on the go. Adult life has proven to be a little different with teaching, coaching volleyball, furthering my education, and purchasing a new home. I've found that my cardio junkie lifestyle isn't always sustainable because I get home after dark, eat too many french fries, and seem to have ups and downs with my consistency in running. It's time for a change. I'm moving towards a different lifestyle of consistency in my health and fitness, and I'm actually becoming an online health and fitness coach. I would be thrilled if you would follow along, or even better yet, join me on this journey. Stay tuned so you can follow along. Spoiler alert, I'm not giving up pizza and Starbucks just yet. So that's mine. I told a little bit of why I want to be a coach. I let them know that they should follow along on my journey. And I also put a little bit of like my own flair of like, I'm definitely not giving up pizza and Starbucks yet. So take some time, think about what you want to write, even maybe start drafting it. You're probably not going to have all the time to do that right now, but you can at least get it started and jot down some ideas of what you're going to put out there to let people know you're coaching and they can join you on this journey. I'm going to give you 4 minutes to do that because we only have 10 minutes left. Actually, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Okay, time is up. You're probably not finished. That's okay. Make sure that's something that you finish up today and then get out into the world probably by this evening. The last thing I want you to do is to think about a personal development book that you want to start reading. Coaching is all about your growth. It really is. And then your ability and willingness to share how you're growing and changing. It's a game changer to like actually put that stuff out there. So, you're going to hear us talk about one of the vital behaviors is personal development. I have a couple of suggestions, but it's totally up to you. If you want to take this time, I'm going to give you like 3 or 4 minutes and you just want to order one of these books that I mentioned, that's fine. If you want to download it on Audible, if you want to like search for podcasts, that's good too. A couple that I would recommend though, number one, Own Your Everyday by Jordan Lee Dooley. Number two, Business Boutique by Christy Wright. That's a book and a podcast. Number three, Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen. And then number four, it's a little bit different. It's more of a personal development, not so much professional. And that would be Made to Crave by Lisa TerKeurst. That one is all about nutrition. And if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, then it's super transformational. It's so good. But what I would encourage you to do is think about areas where you need to grow and then find your personal development book based off of that. Like if you deal with like self-doubt, try to find a book that's going to specifically speak to self-doubt. If you struggle with a morning routine or keeping a routine in general, try to find a book that speaks to like organization and routine and why that matters. Another really good one, which is more personal rather than professional, is Brene Brown's, oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget the name. Power of Vulnerability, I think is what it's called. Ugh, I can't remember. Look up Brene Brown. She has some really good books that speak to a lot of different things. So take the next 2 to 3 minutes to jot those down, go purchase them on Amazon or download them, or search for or think about what topic you need to search for a personal/professional development book in. I've never read it, but I've heard Eat That Frog is a good one too. It's about procrastination. Okay, we have less than a minute. So that's all for the power, half hour, action hour, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to log off and hop back on if you want to hop back on for some questions.